What up, guys? I'm eventually checking in. Nice to meet you. And today we're going to go over the power of the Avalanche Method, how to pay off debt fast. As you know, 77% of Americans are in debt. It might possibly be more with inflation, with everything going on. And with that, it's about $38,000 of debt that each American household holds, and that's not even including mortgage. So this is serious. So we're going to teach you the power of the Avalanche Method. Let's first start with what is the Avalanche Method. Essentially, the Avalanche Method, essentially you paying off the highest amount of interest debt first. That's usually sometimes the highest amount of debt that you have. The pros of this method, you're going to pay less in credit card interest over a period of time. The cons of this method, depend on the size of the debt, it's gonna take you a while, okay? So it's not an overnight process.
All right, guys, this is what you need to do. You need to get a sheet of paper and you need to make a list from your highest interest debt to the lowest amount interest debt. And then you need to include how much that debt is, the minimum payment amount, how much interest you're paying on a monthly basis. All right, guys, let's give you an example so you can visualize this, so you can put this into real world terms. So say that you have $18,000 of total debt. Your Discover card, you're paying 30% APR, right? Your debt is at $8,000, and that's a minimum payment of $200 a month. Now let's go towards your Chase card. You're paying $6,000, well, you have $6,000 worth of debt at 18% APR, which is a minimum payment of $100. And last but not least, you have your Visa card. You have $4,000 worth of debt. Your APR is at 0, and then you're paying a minimum payment of $75.
That's just for the first 18 months. So this is a recent card that you got, hypothetically. Here's the game plan we're going to execute. If you have everything written down like we discussed, which debt should we attack first? Correct. We should attack the Discover card because it has 30% APR and $8K worth of debt, which is the highest amount of interest and the highest amount of debt that you have. So we're going to pay 3x the minimum on the Discover card while still paying the minimum balance on the other cards. But right now, the main focus is paying the Discover card debt down. So we're gonna do 3x the minimum. Here's why we're doing 3x the minimum. If you just do the basic $200 minimum, you're gonna pay off debt in 52 months. Yes, guys, that's over 2 years, and that's way too long. And also within that period, you're gonna accumulate $6,000 in interest. So imagine that, you already got $8K of debt and you take your time paying the minimum, you're gonna accumulate $6,000 extra in interest debt. But if you become aggressive like we want you to and pay 3x the minimum, you're gonna pay the debt off in 17 months of only paying $1,900 in interest. You see the difference? 52 months to pay off versus 17 months to pay off. $6,000 worth of debt just of interest, or just $1,900 worth of debt. Let's make it make sense. Let's make the math. So once you've executed that, you got your debt paid off, the biggest debt paid off in 17 months, like we discussed, you're paying 3x the minimum. Your next primary focus is gonna be the Chase debt, and you're gonna do the same thing, 3x that. So what you're gonna be paying? $300 a month towards that debt. Once we get the Chase debt executed and out of the way, we're gonna be paying on the Visa at $225 a month. Still being aggressive and still paying 3x the minimum.
All right, guys, here are some key points to remember while you're executing this method called the Avalanche Method. Guys, remember, you want to make 3 times the minimum payment amount on the highest interest debt, guys. At the very least, you should be making 2 times, but strive to make 3 times the minimum payment. And then next, guys, make sure you are not using your credit cards at all. You should be using cash or debit cards. Do not use your credit cards, because why would you be paying down debt and then accumulating more? You're just balancing it out and not accomplishing anything. Put those credit cards away, chop them up, do whatever you have to do, but do not use them. And then lastly, guys, stick to the method. Don't flip-flop from Avalanche to Snowball, Snowball to Avalanche. If you choose the Avalanche, you go forward and you execute the Avalanche. Flip-flopping does not help at all. Stick with it and you will pay off your debt.
Things to consider, guys. We know this is a very aggressive method, but this is the best method if you really want to pay down debt and pay the least amount of interest as possible. So you should consider getting a side hustle, doing side hustle, take advantage of these gig apps, Medical Courier, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash. We got plenty of videos on how to become a courier, medical courier, freight, all these type of apps. You definitely want to take advantage of it. Number 2, look around your house for things you can sell right now and get some extra cash so you can pay down the debt. Anything from extra furniture, extra electronics, shoes, even household goods, whatever it may be. Try to find something to sell and things to sell right away. Use sites like OfferUp, eBay, things of that nature. And lastly, this is the most important, decrease your lifestyle expenses. So that means within the period you use this Avalanche method, no more eating out, no more partying, no more bar hopping, no more clubbing, no more frivolous dates, none of that. You're gonna have to be very strict and diligent to make the effort work. All right, you gotta make the effort work. This is the only way the Avalanche method is gonna work. Even if you do the Snowball method, this is the only way it's gonna work. You're gonna have to make lifestyle adjustment. Even your living, your spending, all these things have to come down. It's very important. So there you have it, guys. The Avalanche method, the power of the Avalanche method. Let us know if you're gonna use it. Let us know how much debt you have, if you feel comfortable, and live adventurously. The world is yours. Pay down the debt.
Like, comment, subscribe.